Yes. So, welcome everyone to Thrivecast, Unlocking Your Full Potential. I'm Oscar, I'm an emotional fitness coach, and I help people embody their higher self so they can live their true life purpose. And with me today, I have Katarina Hanssens Carlsson. Katarina, please introduce yourself to our listeners.
Thank you. Thank you, Oscar. Well, I'm an entrepreneurial blueprint consultant, and I've been doing this for 20 years. So we're going to come to the topic in a minute. But I'm all about your driving purpose, and not only for entrepreneurs, but we are putting this into schools globally today. So this is really exciting. So last week, I felt that we didn't cover everything to do with your accessing your full potential. I mean, this is a huge subject. So there are more levels to this. So we're going to continue this week. And my first question is, why is it important to access your full potential? All right, so I go back to my premise that we've been dumbed down in schools. For me, schools, what are the purpose of schools? Is to bring out your full potential. Do they do that? No. Nah. If you don't go to school, you may find your full potential. But very few people don't go to school because in many countries, it's almost illegal not to go to school unless you do homeschooling. Okay, so why would we bother? Why would we bother with our full potential? Why don't we just live and eat and enjoy ourselves and not look for our full potential? Because that sounds like hard work. Well, for me, when am I at my full potential? No, I would say not. Although, if I look back 10 years ago, have I reached more of my potential today? Absolutely. I'm working globally now, whereas before, uh, Katarina was smaller. So, when we reach our full potential, we grow into that and we become more and more and more. Why is that important? We can give to others. Our world becomes much more exciting. We become a role model for others. They feel our excitement. They feel that we're on fire, on fire about life. How many people can you honestly say that they're on fire about life? Well, I know, I know a few, but it should be hundreds, thousands, maybe billions. So it's important to find your full potential and reach your full potential as full as you can. Why? Because then you truly thrive in life and you can help others. So, Oscar, I'm sure you have some viewpoints about this.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think I will, maybe it will be a little bit of a repetition of what I said before, but what I truly feel, it's like it's essentially why is it important to find your full potential? Because that's life. You're here to experience the joy of living. You're not here supposed, to be here in order to fear death and then die. That's not the point of it. The point is for you to truly embrace life as it really comes there, to grasp it by the claws. To really go forth out into the world with this brand or this with this excitement, a curiosity and willingness to explore,
Yeah.
from your standpoint and what is truly important for you. um because all you ever have is the present moment, and you in that moment crafting the life that you want there, like crafting the perception, the thoughts, the emotions, how you want to perceive reality, the excitement of being alive compared to the nervousness of death for whatever could happen inside, around you, right? So it's this thought perception that you move into love rather than you constantly struggle because you are in a state of survival, right? It is this essentially, as humanity, we deplete our planet. Why? Because we are unsustainable. Why are we unsustainable? We're unsustainable because we're fearful. We're grasping onto rather than seeing that there is abundance, and we can't see abundance because we're afraid of how life is perceived by us. Because you see, if you're coming from a limited perspective, you will find ways to, like, how can I shelter myself? How can I, you know, take care of myself, and like make sure that no one comes and knock at my door and tears down my
Right.
house and all of this. And so you become stifled inside of yourself when it's actually about you expanding, showing yourself, being out there. I'm like, come towards me, world. I am here. I love you. Love this. And it's very interesting also, because when you see people like this, because normally when someone sees that, it's like, oh my God, that person is full of themselves. But the moment that you say that, you limit your own potential, because you're essentially saying that that person's way of being is too much. You don't have the capacity to take in that normally, because you don't even have the words for it. So why should you access your full potential? Because the world needs it, because you need it, because that is what it means to be alive.
Yes,
That's why.
exactly. Then you're truly alive. Yeah, and you're absolutely right. I mean, I know people who think that, for example, Tony Robbins is too enthusiastic. Excuse me? The word enthusiastic means in God I am. Oh, he's too much in God I am. None of us can be, but it's his own limitation. He cannot be enthusiastic himself. So he criticizes somebody like amazing like Tony Robbins, who has reached his full potential and is going even further. Absolutely. So, next question. How do we find our authentic identity, and why is that important? Well, if we're not authentic, there's not much point in living, honestly. If we're not real and we're not expressing our truth and we're not living in our truth, what is the point? Just another life, as you say, Oscar, in survival, in fear, in, oh, what can I do that's easy today so that, okay, well, I'll just go to my job and I'll just do what I have to do, and then I'll eat my lunch and I'll go home, and then I'll sleep and nobody will disturb me. And ah, is that a life? The Greeks, when someone dies, or before they die, I should say, they ask one question: have you lived your life fully? Fully. That's what we're here for. And is your authentic identity important? Absolutely. We get dumbed down in schools. So, in a way, our identity is taken from us unless we hold on to that and say, no, this is my truth. This is what I believe. This is who I am. It took me 20 years to get back to that stage. 20 years. I mean, that's crazy. But I don't regret it. So I live my truth and express my greatness. And greatness is not arrogant. And I live with and within a compelling vision. So, how do you find your authentic identity? First of all, you find your inauthentic one because your authentic identity is who you are. And it's how you've been at your fullest, at your greatest in your life. And it could have been when you were 5 years old. So that's when you find your authentic identity. So, Oscar, what do you say?
Yeah, I mean it's exactly what you're saying because the thing is this that I what they say when they interview people, exactly what you say. Have you lived your life? You know, have you lived to the fullest? Because that's one of the greatest regrets, actually, for people when you lie there and you feel that you did not necessarily do it because you were afraid, because you didn't live up to it. You see, it's like the one of the hardest thing about life is that it does not wait for you. It really doesn't. You know, it's like you have the opportunity to show up or you don't show up. And
Right.
so everyone who might go to their work and like, oh, like nothing is happening. But nothing is happening because you do not even dare to see what would you actually do if something was happening. Because if you open your eyes, everything is happening. But you also need to embrace the courage of actually going outside of that idea of whom you think you are. You see, that part of you that is based on survival, that part of you that is based on, not liking people around you, that part of you that might be bitter. It's about you starting questioning all these old concepts that have been ingrained and that you are perceiving out from reality, but questioning them rather than taking them for granted. You see, you have a mind of meaning, right? And when you derive meaning to something, you frame your reality out from that meaning. And that can both heighten you and or put you down. Problem is that most of your language and the way you are framing your reality comes from a meaning that is in a lower kind of vibe. So you perceive reality from that and you are afraid of what it is to move out from it because you don't even have the words for the perception that you're longing for. So essentially, it is about because as a child, if you think about it, they're excited, they're on fire. I'm like, I'm just gonna go there and play. I'm like, hi, how are you? They're looking up, they're full of awe for this world. And
Yes.
all of a sudden, that's gone. That's gone because they have looked upon others, and we are also we're herd beings, right? So we look upon how are others perceiving the crowd. The crowd does this, so will I. I will mirror their way of being. So for you to break out of this, it demands for you to become a pioneer, but you have to. You have no choice because otherwise you will be faced by that sad story of regret. And I'm not here to force you to do these things, but it's about you understanding that there's a choice in the present moment of how you perceive reality. And first of all, you have to understand what is your current set point, and that is painful because you need to embrace pain first in order for love to come in and exchange it. You need to look at your old story. You need to be really, very, really authentic with what truly is your way of reality. And when you are and you move through that pain, things will shift. And a new way of framing and seeing life will occur, and you will start sensing that life can be exciting and happy and all of it. Yes, that's what I would say.
Okay, Oscar. Amazing. I love the word awe. That
Mm.
children are in awe, that we are in awe. So, next question. How do we find our driving purpose and our vision? Which is really, really important. And this is, as I said before, we should be doing in schools, finding our driving purpose. But if we don't, most of us have not found our driving purpose in schools. When you find your authentic identity, you know who you are. You can make an I am statement with I am this. I am this person. This is who I really am. This is who I was in the past, and it was amazing. And this is who I am and always will be, and more, right? Then you find your inauthentic identity and you reinvent that. Now, this is complicated. Excuse me. So you may not be able to do it on your own. If you cannot do it on your own, then please contact me or contact Oscar. So how do you find your driving purpose? Your authentic identity, your reinvented identity will show you where your driving purpose is. It's something that you love to do, something you're actually brilliant at, something that you would do whether you were paid or not. So if you think about these questions, about what you do today, would you do it if you weren't paid? Most people would say no, 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 no. I don't go to work and not get paid. But there is something in you that you love to do. There's something in me that I love to do, in Oscar that he loves to do, that we can't help doing. So I've found my driving purpose, and it's been the same driving purpose, developed, diversified, but the same driving purpose for over 20 years, and it will be for the rest of my life. And then how do you find a vision? When you find your authentic identity, when you know your driving purpose, then you can say, okay, this is what I'm going to achieve in 1 year, 3 years, 5 years, and you can create your vision. So you know exactly where you're going in life. You know exactly who to choose to partner with and who not to choose. And life becomes much more fun and much more simple as well, because you can make choices, you can make decisions based on your driving purpose, based on your vision. So, Oscar, what do you say?
Thank you, Katarina. Wow. Well, I mean, this the driving purpose, right? It's something that we usually can say like, oh, it's something I do. It's something that that's my occupation, my way of being. But what is also interesting is like I always want to bring people back to the now. You see, it's what when you're in this authentic identity, when you start embodying that fully, it is really about the because the purpose is actually it's earth. It's who it's in it's the earth that you have around you, and what the earth is connected to the body. So the body inside of a human being, there is the purpose lives within your body, and when you start moving that body into the rhythm of what your authentic state of being, your purpose will be felt. Not only will it be felt, but you will also feel what it is that again excites you, what it is that you could do all day without question, without anyone paying you whatsoever. You just love it. You just love. You could sit there and you could be in it and you could explore it and you could play with it and you could do everything. And you feel how your body is vibrating with vital energy because of it as well. You see, so it's like it's an embodiment because we have a tendency to be so stuck in our mind. Now it is important, as Katarina says, it is really important once we come into this and understand, oh, this is what makes my body feel so alive. This is what makes me feel so alive, and the way I'm acting, and then planning so your life actually has these qualities every day of your life, because that's what makes life fulfilling. But the thing is that what really moves you into it is you having these refined emotions and state and authenticity in the now, that you just keep on doing. It's, you see, it's like your life purpose, from my side at least, it's a process of, it clarifies as you become more and more you. It embodies inside of yourself, but it also becomes something that you're putting out into the world. You see, this podcast is, for instance, one a part of my life purpose, and I'm doing it every week, and it's a continuous process, and I'm seeing how what is happening inside of me as this is done. Not only what is put out there, but whom do I become as the sharing of this occurs? You see, apparently sharing is a very big value for me. So when I do that, it just naturally becomes something. It's like, yeah, I'm alive. I love being on camera, and not everyone does, you know. So that is also another thing. We have to understand that there's a uniqueness to life purpose. And we have a tendency to look at other people and say, oh, look how happy they are. I must do what they do. But you have a uniqueness to what actually makes you happy. And when you honor that uniqueness, and then when you honor that and you see, this is how I will live life. I will not, in Sweden we say tumma. I will not, accept anything less. I will not accept anything less in every waking day of my life. Then you have defined for yourself that this is the direction you will hold, and then you can make a plan, and then you can take out goals, and then you can start enforcing this gift, because it is really a gift that you're bringing out into the world as a gift from your body, from your embodiment, for your walking here step by step on earth. That's what it is. You see, so yeah, that's how I would frame this.
Beautiful, beautiful. Yeah, we get in life what we tolerate. So obviously, you didn't tolerate being in survival. I didn't tolerate it either. I couldn't have expressed it like that maybe 20 years ago. But I tolerated sitting passively and listening to my teachers for what, 12 years or more. But today I don't tolerate it. I don't sit passively. I've become who I wanted to become. So, and viewers, you can too. Oscar, do you have any last words on that?
Yeah, I mean, I felt it so strongly when you said you get inward to life what you tolerate. And I maybe that was looked from a, I don't know, negative standpoint. But the point, what I wanted to see when I heard that, I was just like, oh my God, that is so profound. Because it also is the same as, like, if you have a huge tolerance, which means that then it's almost like you have this expansive capacity of tolerating, but not only tolerating you, it's like, it's this. If you're standing in front of the sun and the sun is shining towards you, if you can tolerate that light, you become literally on fire, But maybe someone would almost like shy away from it because it shines so brightly. So you see, what the excitement that I might put out here, for instance, might be too much for someone, because it's essentially just coming on. But that's the point of this. Is like we tolerate it as we just understand that we feel life. We feel it and we're not afraid of it. We're embracing it. We're curious about it. You see, in order to tolerate, you need to be receptive. You cannot be in you cannot push it away with your fist. You have to be like this.
Absolutely. And it's healthy to become intolerant. Say, this I will not tolerate in my life. This I will not tolerate in my life. I'm raising my
Yeah.
standards, and
Yeah.
and it could mean losing friends, unfortunately. I mean, the more you grow, the more you reach your full potential, the more you move into another sphere. I say it,
Yeah.
you move into another kingdom.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
so Oscar, how do we contact you?
You reach me through my website, realitydecoding.com, or you can look on Facebook as Live Your Purpose. It's a Facebook group. And also, I have a YouTube channel called Oscar Nygren. And you, Katarina, how do people reach you?
They can reach me through LinkedIn. I'm Catherine Carlsson. There's only one Catherine Carlsson, with Catherine with a K and Carlsson with a C. And I will also leave my link. So click on the link if you still want 15 minutes with me. Click on the link because I am going to be extremely busy in the next few years. So just letting you know. So next week, Oscar's come up with an amazing topic called reframing our emotions. Very, very exciting. So see you next week.
Yeah. See you, everyone.